And we're back. The Montavious show is back. Get a round of applause.
Roaring applause. It's making me feel good.
Yes, we're back. We're back. Yes, indeed. Another episode. Episode part 2. I'm naming this season. This is I call it my second season.
Yeah.
Because I had a little break throughout the summer that I do comedy or do podcasts. So now this is my second season.
I love it.
That was episode 2. This is episode 3.
Episode 3. All right. And second seasons are known to be the best seasons. It's true. It's like, because the first season you're establishing the characters. Like, all of your favorite shows, your favorite season was the second season. Second season Smallville, best. Second season Arrow, best. I haven't confirmed it with second season Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but I'm pretty sure. Whenever I'm on things and I hear that I'm on season 2, I'm just like,
yep, this is it. This is the one.
So, season 3 is where it gets tough, though. That's usually every show's worst season, so good luck.
Yeah, you gotta keep it steady in season 3.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a way to start it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. Drew Davis is back in the house.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again. Good to see you all again if you're watching.
Okay, you know what I used to do is have people change shirts through episodes. Like, record 2 shows.
Oh,
so
then
I can separate them and then, like, okay, we did it.
Like, it looked like a different day.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I only have one shirt. This is a different day. I just never do laundry because I don't have any other shirts. It's way cheaper to just never do laundry and never shower and never buy any hygiene products. So that's what I do.
That's there you go. That's unique.
That's something. Someone's gonna write an article about the comedian who never showers has hygiene, and I don't have a sense of smell. So there's like.
And then we've nicknamed that couch the Blue Lagoon.
I like it. Feels like a Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's okay.
I brought your other couch.
It's in my closet. I know it sounds crazy, but it is.
Also, this is Will. You can't see him, but he's here. He's the podcast co-host.
He's my Andy Richter, Jim McMahon,
That's Eddie
McMahon. Yeah, one of them two. But yeah, he's my sidekick.
I love it.
Mr. Randall.
He's the Robin to your Batman. How do you feel about being Robin?
Fuck that, I am not Robin.
No?
No.
How about Crypto the Super Dog? No? Okay.
Yeah, no. Anyway. All right, so what's on your mind today?
We talked about fun and fun trivia at our last podcast, 6 weeks ago when we recorded it. Not at all 30 minutes ago. So I thought this would be a fun one. We're both comedians, and we both are from the Nashville comedy scene.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be fun to talk stand-up comedy. So
how long ago did you get started?
So I started 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. You'd think I'd be further, but I took a break. It was a very big side hustle and recreation for several years ago. I've hit it a little bit more seriously since then. Now recently, and then maybe for a few years before I moved out of Nashville. I was in the Nashville comedy scene for my first 4 or 5 years of doing comedy, which is funny, is because I don't think we interacted with each other much.
So my question is, what was the first place you did comedy?
So the first place I did comedy was actually in Lexington, Kentucky, right before I moved back to Nashville.
Okay, but
so in Nashville. In Nashville, though, I would say it would be Spanky's Bar and Grill. They set up my. Okay. Did you ever do the Spanky?
Yeah.
Did you ever win the Fresca?
Yep. Okay. Honestly, in my storage unit, I have 6 cans of Fresca.
All right.
That I all want.
I thought it was so brilliant to me how. I mean, it's so stupid for the viewing audience or the listening audience. They would have it was just a regular open mic, but they would make it a contest every week. Funniest comic in Nashville. If you won the contest, you were called, quote unquote, the funniest comic in Nashville. And you got to come back the next week and do 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes, especially for an open mic. You're like, oh my gosh, I've made it, And to just add to this big celebratory moment, they would give you a can of Fresca, which has got to be one of the worst soft drink sparkling waters.
My question is, do they still sell them?
Yeah, they still sell them like Special K or Kmart or Walmart.
I bought a cake. About 4 months ago.
Yeah, it probably tastes the same if you wait 6 years to drink it. Like it's something. But like, what the thing about it is just the nature of how the contest went and the open mic was like. It was so exciting to win that Fresca. Everyone wanted it, and it's such a stupid thing, but everyone wanted it. And I only won once. I don't know. You said you have 6? You have 4? Oh my gosh! I only won once, and I remember when I won though. It was so funny because So here's a side trivia that helps make the story make sense. I am a massive Fast and Furious fan.
Really?
I love those movies so much, more than I should. I get it. I don't love them because they're cinematic masterpieces. I just love them. And it all started when I was in high school. Me and my friends, we would like marathon. Anytime a new Fast and Furious movie would come out, we'd on marathon. It used to be just like a night activity, and now like we actually have a thing we call Furious Weekend. If a new Fast and Furious comes out, we will, and especially when we lived in different locations, we would like have satellite campuses of Furious Weekend. Like, and it's funny, it's always like Easter weekend. So while ever other people are celebrating our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we're over here like marathoning Fast and Furious, tweeting about it, junk food, and then it all leads up to like you go watch the new movie in theaters, you go out to eat beforehand to a really nice place. Like, listen, it does not cost that much in the grand scheme of things to make a national holiday, and I am saving up to make Furious Weekend a thing. But one of the Fast and Furious had just come out. Oh no! And then what happened was Paul Walker had just died.
Yeah.
And so that was the big topic. So at the end of the Spanky's competition, they would always the open mic. They would always like have a joke of the week, and the audience would pick the topic. And so some weirdo said Paul Walker.
Oh.
And so then it hit me. I was like, I have a perfect Paul Walker joke. But then I felt like I was betraying this celebrity who I love so much. But I was like, but I want to win the contest. But I don't want to be, disrespect Paul Walker. But I want to win a contest.
Did you do it?
I did. I did my Paul Walker joke. I thought I won the spot. And I got like not a standing ovation, but like a clap of applause. Like it was a big hit. And I won the contest. That's how I got my one Fresca.
So it's a dark joke.
It was. It was.
Dark jokes always work.
I was saying, yeah, they really do. Do you got? I think I remember. If you want me to share.
Yeah, please share it.
Okay. Yeah, first of all, before you even tell it, I kind of remember the situation, but I don't remember the joke. Because, like I said, I have to across at some point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like I feel like I knew of you several years ago before I moved, but I didn't know you. Does that make sense? Like, it's Monty Hicks, but I never actually had a conversation with him.
That's crazy. All right, now go ahead and tell me.
All right, so if I remember correctly, the joke went something like I was talking about how much I loved Fast and Furious and how much, but I always felt like I had a rivalry with Paul Walker. I was like, our lives are so similar, but I just feel like he always had it better. And I also, at the time, I had just, the same month I got in a car wreck. And that was part of my earlier set. So I was talking about how, we all, he wanted to, I love the Fast and Furious movies, but he got to be in the Fast and Furious movies. I've always wanted to make out with Eve Mendez, and he got to make out with Eve Mendez. I'm like, this guy's living the life I want to have. But, in this competition, I'm losing. But then recently, we both got into car accidents, and I walked out. So he might have won many battles, but I won the war. That was my joke, which is terrible. But it won me the Fresca.
That is great.
I mean, he was going too fast and driving too furious.
Yeah, he was.
That's funny. Okay, yeah, that was good. That was good.
So I started 10 years ago, but I think what your viewers really want to know is, like, when did you start doing comedy, and what made you decide to start doing comedy?
My thing is, brief history, I've always just been a fan of comedy. Mm-hmm. If somebody can get on stage and make a crowd laugh, that's just a powerful tool. I love it.
Yeah.
So my thing is, everybody says, but what's your influences? How far do you go back? From anything from Red Fox to Eddie Murphy to Bill Cosby to George Carlin, Jerry anybody who was the beginning of this.
Absolutely.
I'm like, man,
they helped set the stage for us. Yeah.
My parents used to have records. I used to listen to Bill Cosby records on a constant loop all the time. And I would go back and watch them on YouTube or listen to them on YouTube, and I know word for word.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I was just a fan of somebody who can paint a picture that now you can mentally see, and that they made it funny, and now you're laughing at what they're doing or they're talking about.
Yeah.
So then when I found out that there's, normally you would think bigger cities have comedy shows. I didn't think about that here in Nashville. When I found the local scene, I would go to every bar they would go to, every location that they would go to. And everybody's, all the comedians are the exact same no matter where you go.
Yeah, sure.
So then, I hang out with them and make them laugh. They was like, oh, Monty, you're funny. Why don't you try this? And I never thought about it up until then. So I was like, well, all right, I'll give it a try. And the first time I tried it, I was Eminem in 8 Mile. I was thrown up in the bathroom. I was so nervous. They give you 5 minutes at Spanky's. I was like, okay, I went, at home, write down my material. I had 5 minutes worth of material. But as a comedian, you got to let your jokes breathe and space. And,
absolutely.
So I did
the
my
art and craft of it. Yeah.
So I did my 5-minute joke within 3 minutes of getting off stage.
Mhm.
So I was like, man, I felt like I choked. But then it's starting to be a drug to you because you want to improve
100%.
every single
yeah.
time you do it. So you don't want to just go on stage and do it once. No, you want to do it again and get better at it, write better jokes, move punchlines around and rearrange how you want to say it. So then I was like, okay, I got this. So now I feel like, I don't feel like I never want to be in competition with other people.
Yeah.
But I feel like, okay, let me rank myself with other people.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, okay, I can achieve what they're doing. I see what they're doing. I'm at their level. I don't think I'm going to be Kevin Hart big or whoever's touring that big in arenas. But still, I feel like, man, I can kill the local scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all about building your home base of fans wherever you are, wherever you start.
Absolutely.
So that's what I look forward to. Because, I'll go in Hermitage. I mean, I could pack out places over there because, that's Monty Hicks show. Let's go.
Yeah, you're a Rusty Nail show. I've been there the past few months, and it gets a crowd, it gets an audience.
It gets to a point as a comedian, we've all done open mics, but I want to do more than just jokes in front of other comedians.
Right.
We may critique you, may clap and give you a laugh, but no, I want to hear a real audience laugh.
Yeah.
So once you do
that's
that,
like the fun part of comedy. Comedy is meant to be fun for the performer and for the audience.
So once I make a real audience laugh, then I know I got what it takes. Sort of, not high professional, but I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So there's my beginning of the story.
Yeah, I have such a different beginning because when I hear your story, I hear what I kind of wish I had. Like you had some humility going into it. You were like, I want to get better. I'm not there yet. I'm learning from these other people. I was so full of myself for the first 2 years of comedy, and probably beyond them. But then I could back it up with some substance. So I've always been in love with public speaking. I've always been I started preaching when I was 16. It's just been a thing. So by the time I was doing comedy, it's early 20s, and I'd been a pastor for a while, so I'd spoken in front of people. So I really just thought
what religion?
I'm Christian, non-denominational.
Oh really?
Let's
get this. I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. How was that?
It was interesting. I would leave it at that. But I got up on stage and gave talks and sermons and stuff too.
Yeah. So because of that, I felt like I was advanced in comedy. I didn't learn how to write a joke yet. I didn't learn how to be comfortable with my performing. But I'll never forget my first big bomb because I was so full of myself. And so many people tried to help me get out of the situation, but I was going so a month into comedy, I got my first 45-minute set.
45 minutes?
I didn't have 5 minutes. But I'll never forget because I was being ordained. I was officiating weddings, and so I remember I was bragging to this couple that I was about to marry. It's like, yeah, I do comedy. Like, oh, you should do comedy at our wedding. I should have been like, no. But and then they knew what they were asking. They said, can you do a tight 30 minutes? So a laugh every 10 to 15 seconds for 30 minutes. I should have said no. But
so
I was like,
it anyway.
I said I can do a tight 45.
Shut up.
I should have, but I didn't. And then of course I'm bragging to all the other comedians in the Nashville scene. I'm probably over at Spanky's open mic on Tuesday. They're like, yeah, you guys keep up with this open mic. I'll remember you. I called a friend and he was gonna come and film me. I was like, this is my big break. This is my the older Nashville comedians. And I can still remember them to this day. I feel like Monty Mitchell was one of them.
Yeah.
Brad Hinderliner definitely. He was doing his best to give me good advice, but I wasn't hearing it. And I remember they were sitting down with me and they were like, dude, you're not ready. I was like, I think I am. I was not, my idea was I'll just take all my little 5-minute sets, put them together, and it'll be a glorious 45 minutes. And there was one point where they're like, do you really think you have a good 45 minutes? They're like, because you're so new. And I remember saying well, Eddie Murphy got a big break once he started. And someone even asked me, do you think you're as funny as Eddie Murphy? And I'll never forget my answer. I was like, I mean, maybe. Oh my gosh. And so the day came. I went into the show. And I do remember because I actually had footage of it. 45 minutes. One joke got a laugh.
Really?
One joke got a laugh. There was a baby crying the entire time, and I'm pretty sure it's because of my comedy. It was, and the delusionalness of being a comedian. Most normal people, that would have been it for them. But I kept going, And like, so I moved past it. I learned everyone has their bombs, you know, whether you have big ones like that when you first start, or I mean, like, frankly, like last night doing 2 open mics, I bombed at both of them. I mean, it was
Really?
practice, but like, I tried new stuff and I was like, well, it's not funny yet, but we're getting there. Like, bombing is part of doing comedy.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, but I feel like it helps you get better at it, you learn from it, and it also like just helps you in life being okay with just like trying, you know, just trying. And if it works out, great.
I can tell you my biggest bomb. I got booked at a college auditorium.
Fun?
Oh no, it wasn't.
No, not.
Okay, first of all, it was all black. You know, sprinkles of white, but it was mostly black.
Yeah.
But they had a very short attention span. If you didn't hit them right off the bat every single couple of seconds, they were not laughing. They were already booked. It was like Apollo.
That's so true with black girls.
I
Like
was
your
like-
first few seconds matter so much more. And
I was like, man, and I did the one Cardinal said you should never do. Oh, this ain't easy. Why don't y'all get up here and do this? Oh, I said,
did someone get up?
No, nobody got up.
Oh, that could have
As
been.
those words would come to the notes, I was like, I can't believe I've done that. So I was like, no, this is a bomb. This is a bomb. That was my worst bomb ever. And I had 10 minutes. That was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even a full 45.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, to put it in perspective, in a month of doing comedy, I was put on for 45 minutes, and I wasn't ready. What in 2000? So that would have been like 2012-ish, I think. 2019 was when I released a 30-minute album that I felt was like a tight 30 minutes. So like, I didn't even have 45 minutes, like 5 years later, but I was so anyway. But I do remember the first time I had a heckler. It was here in Nashville. There used to be a show at Jazz and Jokes.
Yeah,
you remember?
yeah,
You ever did Jazz and Jokes? Yeah. And I did it's like a bachelorette party. And I think I said something like, yeah, you think that's so easy? Come back on stage and do it. They didn't, and thank God they didn't.
Yeah.
But like afterwards, every comedian, they were like, yo, you never want to tell
Yeah, you never want to say that.
Because like if they actually have the listen, audience people listening, if you're ever at a comedy show and the comedian challenges you to get on stage, no matter how comfortable you feel, please do it. Because no matter what you say, just the fact that you have the guts to get on the stage, you will be funnier than him and anyone else on there, and you will have all the audience on your side, and it will be a terribly traumatic experience for the comedian. So I don't know why I'm telling you this. I feel like I'm hurting my own people, but like, if you ever have the opportunity, probably
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I've been always scared to do colleges again because, okay, I feel like my crowd that I cater to are older.
Yeah.
At least my age and older.
I can see that.
But when they go to some 20-year-olds, no, I can't relate to them.
It's hard. It's like, how do I make this joke relevant, or will they? So for me, sometimes with younger audiences, like, and like, I'm still kind of in between right now, but I feel like in the next few years it'll come. But like, I have jokes about like Miley Cyrus or Kesha or Sarah Jessica Parker, and like I feel like with younger audiences they'd be like, who? Like, and like it's like I feel like I should sit down with a young person and be like, okay, who's a person who is like this in this joke, so that I can just update my joke.
Yeah.
Like, I can still use them and just update them.
That's funny.
But yeah, so
yeah, I feel myself getting older because I can't relate to the newer stuff. Even watching TikTok, watch all these dances and
Period up.
TikTok is the most disgusting and the most brilliant thing ever. Like, I can't decide if it's amazing or if it's like proof that as a society we're
getting shorter and shorter attention spans.
Yeah.
We started with Vine, now we're on TikTok. So everybody's getting shorter.
It's shorter, yeah.
Because now, you know, sometimes I sit down for an hour worth of anything, you're like, I'll get bored with this.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, sometimes I play video games on my phone as I'm watching TV. I'm like, I can't focus on one thing.
It stinks because, like, and you see that in the comedy scenes. Like, they say, like, now it's not uncommon for them to post, like, 15 minutes or 30-minute specials instead of an hour. I mean, it used to be an hour special. That was kind of the thing. But now people don't want to sit around for an hour. Like, and especially post-COVID, people have lost the ability to just sit and listen. Like you almost, like, a lot of places have to, if they start comedy shows, it's like they have to teach their audience how to be a comedy audience.
Yeah.
Because it's not like listening to a band. It's not like going to a concert. Like, you can't talk while you're listening to comedy. I have a variety show in a couple of days. Like, when I go to that Wing Festival, and it's mostly music. And sometimes those shows are fantastic. I hope this one is fantastic. I'm really excited about. I mean, the venue and the people that I'm working with are cool. But like sometimes those are the worst audience ever because they're used to chatting and having a good time while the Leonard Skinner cover band's going on. But then once it gets to the guy telling jokes at you, like some of them like don't know, like, oh, I can't like just yell at this person.
Yeah, you can. You just yell at that person.
Yeah,
Well, if you ever yell at me at a comedy show, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hire someone way bigger than you or me.
No, I'm saying yell at the crowd.
That's crazy. No, don't yell at the crowd.
No, I don't. I'm such like a non-confrontational comedian. I hate shutting down hecklers. Like I know how to do it, but I will be up late that next night, like just like
Think about what just
I'm like,
happened.
man, did I hurt their feelings? Like I hope maybe they're having a really rough day. Like hope they don't go home and like hurt themselves. I really like
you overthink it too much.
oh my god, yes. Rusty Nail was the first time I ever shut down a heckler. Years ago. Yeah, I had and like it's so funny because earlier that week, I remember this. I was just trying to stretch myself as a comedian. I hadn't found my voice yet, but I was looking for it. And so one of the things I wanted to try to do, which I learned I'm terrible at, I told the comedians the week before, I was like, I'm gonna roast you at next week's open mic. So I just spent a week, and James Victor Cherry is one of the, and he to this day he'll tell you that was the worst and dumbest roast that anyone's ever done. Like I hold the title of being the worst roaster in the history of roasties. I don't know, but what they told me was like, look, if you're gonna talk to people, like you just have to learn to be meaner. And then so flash forward, I'm at this show at the Rusty Nail, and there's just this heckler that's just being a terrible person.
Wasn't me?
No, it wasn't you. I don't know. It definitely wasn't you. It was like this super like white trash redneck like guy. Like it was the opposite of you. And anyway,
I wear a suit.
But okay, it was Will in disguise.
Yeah.
But like, and I remember I was going on towards the end of the show, and like a lot of people were like newer than me, so they weren't dealing with it at all. And I was like, well, I just need to deal with it. And then I remember the words of all these comedians were like, you just need to be meaner. So like we were talking earlier, about having filters. I gave myself permission to turn my filter off.
Yes.
And I
You remember what you said?
I called the person the C word. And I got the crowd to chant it with me. And I shut this. That's it. Well, nice try though.
Okay.
Although that brings me another funny story. Yeah. So I said, and but the thing is, the heckler was so drunk and dumb afterwards. He came and was like, "Yeah, we made that show." It's like, no, we did not.
So the thing about being hecklers is that they just want their voice to be heard.
Yes.
So my thing is, all right, let me ask them a question, let them answer it, and then I keep on going with other jokes.
Yeah.
Or I lead them in a certain way. I can take a joke that I'm already got in my head.
Yeah, absolutely. And from 80% of hecklers, that does just fine. Occasionally you get the people that are so drunk that they have no idea what's going on. I had one like that a few weeks ago. She was so funny. She was enjoying the show. She had a blast, but it's actually on my TikTok and social media. You can go back and watch one of my clips but she just was yelling through the whole she was just in her. She thought like it was a personal conversation or something. It was she was delightful and annoying at the same time.
Yeah.
But some hecklers are like, especially nowadays, like they see the viral clips of like hecklers being jerks or whatever, and they go in there with the intention of, I'm gonna be a jerk at the show, and those people are the ones that I'm like, dude, dumb.
If you have, let's say, an open mic night, or even if it's a set of so many people, 7 to 10 people, I always try to go right in the middle. It's a sweet spot in the middle that people pay attention to.
Yeah,
because you get there too early, people are still getting there, getting their seats,
absolutely,
getting drinks.
Yeah.
You get too late, people are getting tired and bored, and like it's been a long show already. So it's always right in the middle. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I go a little bit early in the middle, if that makes sense. Like so, like my lucky number has always been 4. So whenever if I ever can sign up and I have the number, I'll sign up for number 4. But my thought is same thing. You want to go in the middle where like they're used to laughing, but they're not tired of especially I don't know the mic, because you can have like up to 25 or whatever, and then by that time the crowd's done with you. Or Monty showed up the Rusty Nail. What? You told a joke once? Come on, like bring Monty. We can talk. Like, do not bring comedians on after your headliner. Okay, like nobody wants to be that. Like, it's not good for the audience. It's not good for the comedian.
But thing is, I hate to turn away comedians. Everybody has it. not everybody.
Mm.
Certain comedians just have it. They want to go on
Yeah.
stage to make people laugh. So I always tell people, hey, the show is ended, but I got these other people who want to show up and make y'all laugh. Y'all want to hear it or not.
I die
So-
for them on the inside when I see them.
I
It's
agree,
so-
but at the same time, I
Man,
hate to turn people away.
could you say like if so the next time, like so if I showed up and I wanted to be on the show and like the headliner's up, couldn't you say like, sorry, I can't put you on the show, but like let's plan on it next month.
I do that all the time.
Maybe
People,
that's like not a no, you know, that's not a
everybody always, okay, I always tell people get there on time. Because I don't want to be going through my list and rearranging the list because I'm going on stage and trying to host, trying to run my laptop at the same time.
There's a lot going on.
So it's a lot going on. So like, please show up on time. So there's a lot
Yeah,
of
so
things
you
where I
want
got
them to show up on time.
Yeah.
You don't ever start the show on time.
Well, I just told him I was trying to start at 7, but it's going to start at 7:30.
7:30, 8ish. It's fine.
Yeah, 8:35.
So
So being on top of that, they always, I got another gig over here. I want to do this gig. I said, I get it. So just try to get here as early as possible. And they always still show up late. Anyway, go ahead. I got it.
It's a good show. It's a good show, but I was thinking about that. I'm not that nice. Like I'll have my line of people, and I don't now depending on the show. Like for example, the show that I host once a month, they tell me like you have an hour time frame. So I'm not gonna add people like last minute because I told my headliner they get 25 to 30. I told my feature they get 10 to 15, and I told my opener they get 10. And I'm hosting. Like I don't have time to just throw in an extra person. What I do like though, I do like the shows that are structured, but then they say like bucket spots, and so you can come and you can potentially go. That's kind of cool. Like that's kind of fun. But what I do like about your show though is it's very opening to any comedians. And you have some people that have done it before and they like to have the stage time with the real audience. But what I saw with the last one that I really liked, this is for anyone watching, the Rusty Nail last Sunday of every month, right? At 8 or 10, whenever Monty decides to start. And so, but what made the night for me, just as a spectator or just enjoying it, was you had a few new comics that like this was their first booked gig.
Were you there? I want to say
they had a blast.
I want to there. Were you there that time? Well, were you there two? I think I want to say it was 2 months ago. This guy comes out. I think he had an accordion. He had stuff on his feet.
I bet you that was I don't want to say it's Brian Covington or Brad Covington. I always forget. It's the B Covington is his name. Yeah,
it could have been.
That's absolutely.
But he was like a one-man band.
Yeah.
But he did jokes in between playing instruments. I fell out.
I tell you what, I don't think I saw him at Rusty Nail, but I have seen him before. We've done shows together, and he is hilarious. Like I love it.
Okay, he was new, and I don't know what to expect. He come in with like these music equipment. I'm like, okay, this is gonna either really be good or really be bad.
Yeah.
And from the look of it, it looks bad.
Yeah.
But he killed it.
Primal.
It's his style. It's his. It's funny though. Yeah, I've seen him a few times. What's funny is the first time when you don't expect it, because like I remember one time we were doing shows, like, oh yeah, I gotta go prepare, and then he comes back with an accordion and on his feet, and I'm just like, what?
But he did a good job.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. So
I like having new people on because even though, like I said, I'm still a fan of comedy, I still want to see what your new material is. I don't know your style and your delivery and how you do jokes, so I'm still gonna be a fan sitting in the audience watching you, just like everybody else is.
I think that's something we should never lose as comedians, but I think it's so easy to lose. Is the appreciation for comedy and the enjoyment of laughing. I think one of my pet peeves in doing comedy is when you're at open mics and comedians are just there to do their sets.
Yeah.
So they either will pay zero attention or they'll leave the room when they're not performing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I know my main responsibility is to do my set, do my time. If it's a book show, make the audience laugh. If it's not a book show, if it's an open mic, like try my new jokes. I can get that's my main responsibility, but I feel like all of us as comedians kind of have a little responsibility of being like a decent audience member.
Yeah.
Too. Like I do. I try to sit in the front row. I try to like if it's not unless it's like there's real people in the show that let them sit in the front row. But that to me that makes a good open mic is when like unanimously whatever that word is, all the comedians are just like we're gonna be supportive to each other. I just think people can be more supportive in comedy and in life.
Here's another thing I've been saying, I'm putting this out into the atmosphere and I've never gotten a return, but we'll see how it goes. I've always wanted to do like an Abbott Costello routine because there's no comedy duos no more.
No, yeah.
So I'm thinking, you won't get on stage.
Yeah, Will.
Will, do it. Mr. Random, I love it.
Yeah, Will. But by the time the whole vibe is killed, we done had 30 comedians up there. Half of them is trash as shit. And then my mojo gone after that. I'm going to go on this.
That's called being a professional, bringing it up after the show's dead and revitalizing it.
It's random. I'm not writing shit.
No, you have the right material.
So like earlier when I said I had a random thought about C-section babies, I want to talk about shit like that. I ain't ready for it.
I'm ready for it.
But still, I would love to get two comedians that start writing to come up. Not that have to be who's on first, but just something that we can, that work off of each other. You have to be a straight man and a funny man.
That's more like that. More enters more the realm of improv, though, doesn't it? Where you have more than one person on stage.
But it's still written material.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even who's on first is written material.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like an improv type of thing.
That would be cool. It's hard to picture nowadays. I feel like there's a degree of when you're a comedian, and I don't know if this is the best word for it, but like self-centeredness.
Yeah.
Like, and what I mean by that, not that like I'm super arrogant, but like, when I'm on stage, I want all the attention on me. I did improv for a little bit. I took classes for it. It was really cool. I loved it up until we actually did the show. And then it hit me, because at that point I'd done comedy for several years, stand-up comedy for several years. It hit me, I did not like improv as much because I didn't like that people were sharing the attention with me. Like, I wanted them all to be looking at me.
Yeah.
And like, as a person that's super arrogant, maybe like off stage I'm not like that, but like on stage when I'm performing, I want all the attention. Like
I had a thought too. Like, when it comes to improv, I always wanted to see if I could improv a whole set, have people throw words at me, and see if I can start making jokes or just funny observations about whatever.
I would love to do that. First of all, I'm not wonderful at crowd work and on the spot thinking. I've learned that about kind of my own performing. But like, I feel like the way people get good at that though is just by practicing. Yeah. Like, the more you do it, the more it's a muscle you're training. Like, I always thought it'd be funny. I haven't done this before. I did it a couple times. It didn't go so great that I haven't made it a regular thing. But like, I have a lot of jokes about like being like a former youth pastor, and I thought like how fun it would be to have a segment on my show where it's like ask the pastor. Like, if someone asked me a question you've always wanted to ask your pastor, but just didn't feel comfortable doing.
Yeah.
But it's stupid. When I try it, like, people always, because like a pet peeve of mine, just because it's been overdone, is anytime people hear I'm a youth pastor, like the pedophile jokes come out. Right?
Oh yeah.
So like, I'll be like, ask a pastor. The first question, someone's like, what's the youngest age you've ever been attracted to? Come on, man. Like, my rule is like,
that'd be something he would say.
If a middle,
because I'll tell you, hey man, grow some facial hair.
But like,
grow goatee, that should go away. I'm trying to.
Yeah, so I stopped doing that because like I felt like I was getting the same, like, it's fine.
But see, I would keep it simple and I would ask for one word or a phrase.
Yeah, a topic. Yeah.
A topic. So then that way it's not a whole conversation you're trying to do.
Yeah, a premise. Someone gives you a premise, and you take that moment, and you should try that. And your Rusty Nail show maybe, or like the one this Sunday one, that might be like a great kind of space where you ask people.
And see, I also thought about this, asking each comedian either before or after they get off, before they start the set or after at the end of the set. I'm gonna give you a word, run with it.
Yeah.
And see what happens. It could be great. It could be
it could be. I did you get words like that all the time. It would never be actually good words, but the comedian, like, that's part of the job is to figure it out. I did a comedy contest once where there were like 3 rounds. The first round was just straight up stand up. The second round was like a roast battle with one of the other comedians. And then the third round was the audience picked a word, a topic or whatever. And so then we got like a few minutes, maybe honestly somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, because they would have other comedians go up and entertain the audience while you were writing down like jokes about the topic that they gave you. So like, you did have some prep time. Yeah. And then like, that was the last round of the contest, was whoever could like whoever had the best set of like literally brand new on that topic material. It was pretty fun to watch. It was cool. Huh. So yeah. Because I liked that comedy contest because it had 3 different like styles. And, you had your actual material, which is the only one that I felt comfortable doing. You had the roasting, which I wanted to die on the inside.
See, the roasting part is it all depends on if you know that other comedian that way.
I like it better when I know them.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, I got to roast a comic who was a friend of mine, and it felt so much more comfortable than roasting like a stranger.
Yeah.
Like when you do a roast, you write your jokes down.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, like, if I can, like, if they give me space where I can write it down so I can think about it. You can though look at someone and just come up with something.
Yeah, usually because we used to roasting in school back in the days, straight off top of the head. I was a damn bully.
Those same rules make you a good roaster. Like if you roast like you did when you were a middle school boy, then like you'll be a good comedian. The roast battle.
With that being said, we've got 35 minutes, man. It goes by fast.
Oh man, it flew by. Thank you again for having me on this episode and the one 6 months ago that I was on. I really appreciate it.
So you got more than one of the same shirts.
No, this is it. Same shirt. I never showered.
So yes, thank you. Like, subscribe. I forget that.
Hey man, I tell you, like a cat burglar.
With this shirt on?
I'm just saying.
Is it because it's all black?
Yeah, all black on. Look at mine. Look at all. Yeah, slick and shit.
It's smooth. It's a good look. Yeah.
All right. That's it. Love, peace, and hair.
Thank you all so much.
And we're out. Oh my God.